First alert, two people arrested in Fond du Lac after police found drug-related items during a traffic stop. Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office deputies say they conducted a traffic stop for equipment violations in the area of Pioneer Road and South Main Street. The driver of the car was a 39-year-old woman with no criminal history. The passenger, a 39-year-old man with criminal history dating back to 2001. They used the Sheriff's Office canine and found a number of illegal drugs and drug paraphernalia. After searching the car, deputies found 9 crack pipes, 11 push rods, a scale, bowls, and beakers, all with cocaine residue. When searching the glove box, they also found a handgun with a round loaded. Neither of the passengers had a concealed carry license. The male was a convicted felon. Both were arrested and taken to Fond du Lac County Jail. The woman confessed to officers that she had cocaine on her, and deputies found 28 grams worth. She's charged with 2 drug-related charges. The man facing multiple drug-related charges as well as carrying that concealed weapon.